What's going on, and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, it's going to be a little bit different. I think of it kind of as like a journal entry of sorts, kind of. But really what I'm going to be talking about is the vision for the Power Dad Twitch channel and just content creation as a whole. Both what it has been, what it seems like now to me, and then maybe what it could look like in the future. So if you are a Twitch streamer or just content creator of sorts, this video is kind of going to be me talking through my approach to content selection, as well as just what some of the first streams I did might have looked like, and then just kind of what my approach may be to future content for this channel and all the other ones I've got. So let's talk about it. Before we jump into the meat and potatoes of all of what this video is going to have in it, I want to let you guys know that I do stream on Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Would love to have you out. Some links to that in the description below. So when you actually get started streaming on Twitch, it can be one of the hardest things to actually explain to people. They start to ask you, do you play video games? And people just watch you, and it's kind of that, but kind of not really. And that was one of the hardest things when it came to starting actually streaming, is I just thought that you just started the video game and you just go, and that people are just going to suddenly flock to you for some random reason, like you've got something to offer with your absolutely horrible webcam and mediocre gameplay. And I think that was the biggest misconception ever. I thought it was the coolest thing, this idea of streaming video games, that back in 2012, 2013, 2014, I did go live a couple times just to kind of see what would happen. And I remember doing it. It was on a game that I wasn't familiar with the culture. I wasn't all that awesome at it, so I really wasn't worth watching. And when I wasn't willing to put in the technical effort and try and build a community around it, I ended up just not caring. Granted, I was really young and I didn't really deserve to have anything positive happen with it anyways, so whatever. But then as years went on, I was still really interested in doing it. And my brother even and we talked about it because it was something really, really cool and really, really appetizing to us, this idea of streaming video games and talking with people as we're doing it. So when we talk about kind of what things were for the Power Dad channel, it looked kind of like this. It was really ugly, really didn't have any appeal to it, and we were just doing it. I couldn't tell you what the goal was other than to play video games and stream it. And even into 2019, like, this is some of what my other stuff looked like. Still awful, because I really just didn't know what I was doing or why I was doing it. I just wanted to play video games and do it in front of people. So when we talk about what the Power Dad Twitch channel was, I want to take a moment to learn from it. Because when I look at these, I see basically somebody who is compartmentalizing their life away to being just streaming video games solely. There was no additional appeal to it. People didn't learn anything about me. They didn't learn anything about what I was about or for. There was virtually no draw to what I was doing. So the fact that it was a major flop and I was streaming to 0 to 1 viewers during this time frame was not surprising in any way to me. So if I have a first thing that I would like to say about evaluating yourself, if you're a streamer, if you're a content creator, it's ask yourself what you're doing it for. Are you wanting to just play video games? Cool. But why are people wanting to watch you? I think you have to answer that question. And the sad fact of it is that if you can't come up with an answer, maybe you should think about whether or not you want to be doing it. Because it wasn't until I took a very strong look at myself and asked with a clear mind, am I worth watching? It wasn't until I asked that I even began to look and see that there are some major, major things that I could change to make myself worth watching in some ways. So fast forward to around the new year of 2020, I thought to myself, I really, really want to take another stab at doing this whole streaming thing and just general content creation as that goes. And I knew I didn't want to just make it video games. It might start there, but I know that I like so many things in my life. Some of you guys that followed a little bit of the branding early on, it's all centered around my family, music, powerlifting, and video games. And that's kind of my first push to it, is that I grew up playing music, especially playing guitar. If you follow me on any social media platforms, you know that that is heavily, heavily present for me. The other thing too is I love going to the gym. I love powerlifting. I love nutrition, and that's a huge thing too. But another thing that I have heavily wanted to involve is my wife. We have a really, really great time together off camera, and I always thought that that would be something that would be cool to implement for the stream. So when taking this step back in, I really needed to make that a part of what I was doing. Because if I just continued playing video games, then I would get exhausted because I would feel like I'm showing one part of my life without feeling free enough to show everybody the other parts along with it too. And now that's become such an interesting part of the stream, is the fact that so many people love my wife. And I love her too. Don't get me wrong, but it's just so interesting how these different conversations and different things can bring up a lot more interest towards your channel if you just show people your life. That may not work for everybody. Don't make it seem like I'm trying to make this rule that you need to let everybody know everything about what you're doing, because some people, that doesn't really work. But at least for me and my house, it seems to be going really well, and it feels really natural to do that. The other thing that really made our channel exciting and fun to do is that we built a community that wants to talk about so much stuff. And if that's something that interests you, I want to invite you, first of all, to our Discord. You can find links in the description below. But what that does for us is it takes people who see us, engage with us, and get to see our interests and my interests, and they get to talk to us. And we get to enjoy life together on a digital platform in 2020. Who would have thought? And so if I'm to make any stance, is just to say that it may be helpful for you to be you before anything else. What I mean by that is give ways to expose your personality, the things you like, the things you enjoy doing, the things you may be skilled at outside of playing video games. Because the thing is that if you are not some elite professional gamer that, rides the professional circuits and the competitive circuits, no one is really going to just find you and stick with you unless you're going to be willing to be vulnerable enough to show everyone who you are and what you're about. So I pride myself in thinking that our channel and all our platforms are an open book to learn who we are and just have a good time. Which just brings us right to our final point, which is, what do I think the future could hold for our channel and our different platforms of creation? Well, right now, especially if you follow all of our stuff, you would know that a lot of the things I mentioned are not really being carried out that much. One of which is the gym, nutrition, and just the powerlifting side of things. The other thing would be music and playing music live or recorded or do different things like that. They're not expounded upon nearly as much as I would hope or would like to do for the long haul. So those are two major things that I would love to see implemented. But it is kind of going to be a big cluster jam if you tried to put everything on the same platform at one time. So I've taken some time to kind of think about how the spread might look. Because luckily, being a Twitch streamer in 2020, you hopefully are not only putting out content on Twitch. Hopefully. So looking at this here, I kind of tried to draw up what my future hopes and intentions would be, or what it might look like to put out some of this content on the social media platforms, YouTube, and even Twitch itself, of course. The other thing to mention too is that I marked in there a section called lifestyle. That is really basically going to be my wife and I doing additional videos beyond just her streaming with me on Tuesdays like she currently does. Those of you that also watch our channel, you know that we do a segment called Tasty Tuesday, where Hannah and I, we basically eat either foreign or unique foods, and we kind of taste test them and kind of give you a rating based on what we thought about them. So we're kind of going to take that idea too, we think, and maybe start doing some review videos of foods, maybe a specific company. I know we've tossed around a couple different thoughts about doing unboxings and different things like that. So that might be something that you guys end up seeing in the future. But I think the plan here, and the thing I want to mention the most, is that we believe that this channel could get even more fun and have even more community involvement the more that we show people our lives and the more that we want to have fun with everybody in our existing communities. Almost just having so much fun with it that you just want to engage and you want to have a conversation with us and you want to talk to us about your interests and the different things that you like. So with that being said, my suggestion to you, if you are a new streamer or just somebody that wants to get into content creation, is to create ways across several platforms for people to get to know who you are. It'll give you the bandwidth to be able to show your life, show different things you're interested in, and maybe just different ways of people understanding your talents and capabilities and things that would make you relate to them. Because while Twitch is dominantly a video gaming streaming platform that we use, people are going to be more interested and doing gameplay with you and watching you play different games, the more they can know and relate to you as a person. Now, I say all this stuff full well recognizing, that I am not a Twitch partner. I am not a YouTube partner. I'm not anything substantial when it comes to success with content creation at this point. But what I'm merely remarking on is some very basic principles of human psychology and people liking to belong to something and enjoying getting to know people. And at the end of the day, too, I'm mostly just airing out my laundry of what I've been thinking and feeling as we've been developing stuff for our channels. So hopefully you maybe had something that you took away from this conversation. At the very least, you got kind of a glimpse of what my brain is doing when we're making stuff. And if you enjoyed anything at all you saw in this video or on the channel as a whole, feel free to like, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications on this channel. We're still trying to move up the ranks and get additional subscribers to this channel, so feel free to share it if you'd like as well. But I really appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you are a new content creator, I would love to just hear a little bit more about your insight and thoughts about this video. So feel free to drop a comment in the comment section below. But I look forward to connecting with you guys. Hopefully I'll see you on the Twitch stream. Have a good one.